Green Arrow number 22, Benjamin Percy writing, John E. Faria on art. So sorry, let me correct that. Jean, I said John there, slip of the tongue. Yeah, so this is this part 2 of the Rise of Star City, and this was another really strong issue. I'm loving that we're back to this, like, you know, grade A Green Arrow stuff after the arc that we weren't as keen on. And right away, the fact that it's like the city's on fire after the events of the last issue with the planes coming down. We find out it was actually multiple planes, it wasn't just the one. And like Oliver's there as a fireman helping out, and I love the contrast between all the roaring fire, everything's really orange, but the rain's still pouring down from last issue. So he's got this wet hair as he's like helping the firemen, and the firemen are sticking up for him. There's a lot in there. There's just a lot of great stuff. The art is phenomenal throughout the issue, as we've come to expect from the teams on Green Arrow. And from there, he gets into a fight with at least 3 of the 4 horsemen. Eddie, Brick, and Cheshire. And that's all going on. Again, great stuff in terms of the art and all that. And
also, I forgot Brick was a real estate developer. I always forget that's part of his character. So it makes sense that he took out the buildings.
I think that's fair. Obviously, I mentioned the art. Obviously, the motions there, as Farai always has. Also, throughout the fight with the horseman, he also has this. The panels are very inventive. He has a lot of like sort of angled edges and things like that to give again, it helps with the motion more than anything else.
It really does, yeah.
But it shows you the flow of the fight in a really fun way. But it's really cool.
Yeah.
Did we get most of the horsemen right last issue? You know, we were going right. So we definitely got Cheshire as Pestilence. I know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Did we get the others?
We got Brick.
No. Because Brick was...
Because you corrected me, because I didn't know who it was, and you said Brick.
Yeah. Who did... Brick was... Which one?
War.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then that means Fire. Eddie Fire's death.
Yeah.
Which would make the mayor Famine. Which makes sense, because he's starving the city.
Yeah. Because we got the political stuff comes back in because the reporter's interviewing him, and it's basically he just keeps talking about how it benefits him and his image by having all this chaos going on.
And when he's talking to the reporter, that's when Percy's unsubtlety really comes back in full force.
Yep.
When he's like, "Oh, this interview's over. I'm sick of this media bias." It's like, okay, Percy.
Do you know what? I'll let it go because it fits. At least it doesn't.
It does.
Yeah.
It fits, and it makes him a proper villain. And there's some real world,
Which, by the way,
stuff you could apply it to.
Can I talk about how beautiful the page in the middle of this conversation is when it cuts to the 9 circle mask with the star?
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it?
Yep.
The detail on that mask is glorious.
Looks like a 70s era black metal album cover.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And that transitions because obviously we knew she found out the whole star, the map and how it's drawing the star and all that, and shows Oliver, so he has that information now too.
The ley lines and all that weird stuff. Yeah.
Also, he realizes that the Queen Industries building's right in the middle of the star, so big things there.
Of course it is.
But obviously he's questioning like his father, was he involved in this? Was he building Queen Industries as part of this? Is this completely changing the outlook on his father? And he gets into this fight with Dinah about it, and he's like, "No, you told me to bury Oliver Queen and just be the Green Arrow, but that was a mistake because like my family name could have helped this, and they've been sold a lie and blah blah blah."
He starts it by saying, "You need to apologize," and she's like, well, "For what?" And then he goes into that, and you're just like, "Oh, you jerk!" Like she's been at your side this whole time, and I mean, understandably, he's frustrated. But just you need to apologize. I was just like, oh man, Ollie, not a good look, dude.
Do you know what the fact is he has some good points, because she's like, oh, the city voted for this chaos, like they need to accept their responsibility. It. And he's like, yeah, but they were sold on a lie. I have to tear down that lie. And I think that's a good point. You have to kind of expose if there's been lies, but. She's like, no, but you're going to impose your views on them, so that's closer to fascist. Which just calls him a fascist, basically. But
she straight up just calls him a fascist. But
what I like about it is they do both have points. Like I can kind of see what they're both saying, and really what they need to do is meet in the middle and attack it that way.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing that in this day and age, in this world, fascist gets thrown around. I feel Dinah's wrong.
Oh, she's over the top. She's putting it to an extreme level. Yeah.
And I get that she's building a straw man and stuff, but I poked fun that she sounded like she was describing Batman also, as she rambles off that list as she's describing Ollie. So, I definitely feel like Ollie's more right here than she is, because he is trying to do the heroic thing. He's going, yeah, they voted for it, but they were fed a lie. I can't let them just do this. I know that, because again, we saw that the election was fixed too from the start.
Yeah,
that's true.
But,
yeah.
So,
interesting. I still kind of agree with her, because it's not the fact that what he's doing is wrong. Like you say, he wants to expose that, but it's the fact that the way he goes about it, he's like, just goes, oh, you wouldn't understand about any of this. And he's literally talking down to her.
He's been a
dick. Like, no, you're
like,
wrong. You need to know better.
That's why it's not a completely one-sided conversation, because he has been a complete dick about it. This is the thing. Whenever he gets on his high horse, he goes into this mode, and I think that's why you don't blame her for getting angry at him. But at the same time, I think the fascist line is a bit too far, because he does want to expose what and as Matt pointed out, it was fixed. It was corrupt. They didn't really vote for it. So our line's kind of moot at that point.
You can tell that she's just angry and she's looking for something that's basically she's taking a sucker punch at him, thinking what am I going to be able to do that's going to upset him even more? And by the end of it, they're down Diggle. I mean, Roy's still kind of there, but not really. And Dinah's really his only go-to.
I was going to say, that leads us on to the final scene of the book. Is we have what's his face? What's his helper guy called? Fife. Yeah. No wonder I didn't remember that. It's a stupid name.
Henry. They call him Henry, but it's Henry Fife.
But yeah, so he's in the new treehouse base, and he's actually he's on the phone to Roy. He's like, yeah, we might need your help. Things are kind of going down here. And of course, Eddie, maybe all the horsemen, but I think it might just be Eddie with some grunts, because you don't really see the other people. It's just all kind of silhouettes and stuff. But he's coming to the base, and then we see the final page. It's Eddie, or Henry. Sorry, that's because I was talking about Eddie. Henry's standing in the middle of the treehouse, and it's all on fire. It's like, oh dear, you're in trouble. And obviously Roy's heard this, so Roy's presumably en route for the next issue. So it's an exciting cliffhanger. I really like this issue. The first half, probably more so in the second half, just because of again, I talk a lot about atmosphere, but see when the art can give me atmosphere. Just as something as simple as the wet ground at the start, you can see the puddles and the ripples of the water, and the reflections in them. It just does so much for me. And I liked it. We didn't mention this at the start as well, but it actually cuts around different parts of the city. Canary's in a different part of the city helping people from the building.
That panel where she has to, goes, sound the alarm.
Yeah, and she screams down the street.
It's phenomenal, that panel.
Yeah, and then we see Emmy, who we don't see in any other part of the issue, but she's helping people as well, and people are, and she's being her usual catty self and bantering with people. Yeah,
so I thought it was interesting. The cover, the layout of the cover actually plays into the last issue. With the top third, and in the third and the 2/3. Whereas this issue obviously doesn't actually do that. So I thought it was interesting there. It's almost like they're on the wrong ones.
Yeah. I'm liking this arc a lot. I think it feels big stakes. Them all splitting up at the start of the issue to go and help various incidents throughout the city. It makes it feel big. The fact that the reporter's coming to Green Arrow with this information, there's this big conspiracy, the 4 horsemen feeling proper evil. The whole thing just feels like it feels like the season finale of the TV show, if that makes sense. Yep. If this has been a series, this is the finale to this season, and then we'll start fresh after this.
Except it's much better than any of the actual season finales that the show had.
Oh yeah, I'm not. When I say season finale, when I say the show, I don't mean the actual Arrow. I just mean as if this was a TV show.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to make a dig at Arrow.
Oh sure, yeah.